curfew, but everything else is fair game. Trinidad and Tobago's new SOE regulations grant police sweeping powers. Your phone is now searchable. Sharing social media posts deemed harmful to public safety is now an offense. Your device can also be seized. Protests are effectively banned, and police can enter homes and stop vehicles without a warrant. No curfew, but everything else is fair game. Trinidad and Tobago's new SOE regulations grant police sweeping powers. Your phone is now searchable. Sharing social media posts deemed harmful to public safety is now an offense. Your device can also be seized. Protests are effectively banned, and police can enter homes and stop vehicles without a warrant.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It reads, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the people to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." Shalom. Shalom, shalom. This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another edification through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. So first and foremost, call Halayam La Allah Ayanawa Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Ba'asham Rakaha Kodash Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, the brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here. Alright, so hey, look out for the Sedition Act. Alright? Look out for the Sedition Act. Alright? This is what you have to look out for. Because what you have here now that is about to take place, alright, is that your tongue, and not just only your tongue, alright, not just only your tongue, but your thoughts, your sentiments, you know, what the things that you stand for, all right, the values that you stand for, and what have you, so forth. All these things, all right, is going to play a serious part, all right, where your persecution is concerned. All right, there is what it is here, because we've been telling you all what you see in the Prime Minister here, the avenues that she is pushing within this new SOE that had been commenced Monday. I believe it was Monday the 2nd. All right, or yesterday, the 3rd of March. I believe it was either Monday or yesterday, one out of the two. But what you're seeing there is what we have been telling you all that is going to come about. We have been telling you all this over the years, that this here that we're seeing via this new SOE, all right, these things is going to come about, all right, and this is the perfect avenue. This is the perfect avenue to take for them to take pursuant to the Sedition Act. All right, where your social media posts, you know, whether it be WhatsApp, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and what have you, so forth, you know, all whatever you post, whatever you share, even, you know, recordings, you know, if you're recording the police, and what have you so forth in their in unscrupulous acts, you know, and you're putting it online for the public to see. All right, these things is going to line you up in a world of trouble. This is what it is. And this is what we've been telling you all that is about to come about here, even in Trinidad. All right? And this is what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get for your democracy. You see, my words through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, first and foremost, it come into pass. This is what you get. This is the end result of democracy. All right? This is the end result of, you know, your democracy. This is what your democracy brings. Because democracy, all right, democratic rule, democracy rule, is a rule that literally strays away from your constitution, you know, your rule as a republic, all right, and it strays from the constitution, and gradually it becomes a rule of tyranny. All right, democracy makes way for tyrannical rule. Okay, so what you are seeing taking place is your freedom of speech being taken away slowly but surely. And they have to do it now. They have to do it now because when you see the more stringent, the more draconian measures come into place by the way of the MOTB, all right, which is the mark of the beast, when that come into play and be mandated, all right, which is the RFID microchip, and it's being upheld by your social credit score system, all right, the social credit score system and what have you so forth, okay, a lot of people is going to be in a world of hurt, number one. Number two, that's where now you're going to see where all your sovereignty that you once had, you know, your so-called freedom, your liberties, I would say, not freedom, but liberties, all your liberties have been vanished away. And this is what you're seeing taking place. Because these are they have prescribed it. They had brought it into law from way before. They had prescribed it, and, you know, and now is the time for them to implement it. Because I say, when the MOTB come about, all right, these laws will be what they're putting out here now. It's going to be of high value for them in that time to come. So basically, they're not waiting for when the MOTB system come about then to put these things in place. No. The SOE, this SOE that we are under here now, this new SOE that we are under here now, is the right time, all right, and the proper avenue for them to bring it about, so that when the MOTB system roll into play, all right, they will already have everybody in line. This is what it is. They will now have every man jack in line pursuant to all those who fall under that system. This is what it is. All right. So this is the situation. All right. And we know for a fact who is now the target in the public. They will blanket the whole situation. They will blanket the whole public. They will have everybody under that one blanket. But their main target, we know for a fact, their main target is us, the Hebrew Israelites. All right, because we are the main threats towards their system. Because remember, we know the truth. Well, especially the men of great millstone, starting from the apostles, bishops, and elders, onward downwards towards brothers like myself, young brothers like myself. All right, we know we are the main targets. All right, we are the main targets because we are totally against the system. This is what it is. So what you're going to see is that they're going to make a man, you know, an offender for a word, for speaking the truth. And this is where the scriptures say, pursuant to Galatians 4 and 16, Galatians 4 and 16, where it reads, am I therefore become your enemy because what? Because I tell you the truth? All right, and this is the reason why we are at loggerheads. The system, all right, and us, because we stand for righteousness and we stand for the truth, okay, and we are calling out their wickedness. We are actually calling out their wickedness and their tyrannical rule, their tyrannical measures, their tyrannical laws that they have put in place, all right. These things to bring about endless burdens. All right, endless burdens upon the people, upon the masses. But more so upon you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians who are the children of Israel. This is what it is. Yeah? This is what it is. Isaiah chapter 29. Is it 29? A bit, not 22. 29 and 20. Let me see. Yep, Isaiah 29 and 20, where it reads, for the terrible one is brought to naught. All right, who's the terrible one? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. And where's that snare? The laws that they're putting about now. Because again, your posts, all your posts, because I have something to show from the group chat, you know, the brothers chat, you know. I have something to show you how serious this thing is. All right? So the lay snare, which is the laws, you know, that they have right and whatnot, so forth, for him that reproveth in the gate. And you know, it's not just only going to be pursuant to street preaching and teaching and what have you, so forth. It's gonna go all the way, you know, pursuant to your online content. All right. Like for instance, this edification that I'm doing here at the moment. All right. Pretty soon, this is going to be illegal. All right. Preaching the scriptures. All right. Preaching the scriptures and teaching the true Lord, the true power, which is Yahweh and his son, Yahweh Shai. All right. Preaching the truth, letting righteousness prevail upon the face of the earth by the way of teaching the scriptures. All right. These things is going to put a lot of us, all right, under persecution. As it says, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Because it's all about suppressing the truth. Okay? It's all about suppressing the truth. We saw you get to actually see their true colors, the powers that be right now here in Trinidad, all right, the ruling party. You actually get to see the true powers, the true not true oh gosh, not true powers. I want to say now, the true face, the true intentions, what they're truly about. I would say, you know, when that situation that took place 2 months back in January, you know, where the guy, the Samaru guy, I forgot his first name, all right, but the Samaru guy, the guy who was murdered by the police, you know, who hands was out and the police still gun him down and, you know, cripple his girlfriend in a hail of bullets, all right, and the people got to see firsthand, you know, the brutality of the police force and the wickedness of the police force within this country. And we saw, you know, how the government, you know, their views on the situation and what they stand for, all right, what they're really about. And then the Homeland Security Minister, you know, he started to speak on, because, you know, he was a former police officer. He had reached the rank of inspector or something like that. And you heard him speak of the draconian measures that he would like to see put in place in order to suppress the people, you know, for pushing out truths and facts, you know, and exposure. All right, that's the word I want to use. Exposure, pursuant to what the government or the police is doing, you know, their acts and whatnot, so forth. All right, another example, pursuant to the Calypso Soca Monarch in the recently concluded carnival season. I don't know the art. I can't remember the artist's name because I don't really deal with carnival and whatnot, so forth. But he had a very strong worded, you know, calypso, you know, speaking of the social ills within the country, and, you know, the policies of the government and what they are doing, and the police force and whatnot, so forth, you know. And midway during his performance, all right, his mic, you know, the government station TTT, you know, they cut off his mic and what have you, so forth, where the people couldn't have get to hear his content on what he had was to say pursuant to the social ills, you know. And that is just, you know, the perfect examples as into what what is about to take place here in Trinidad. So I want to read something. As I said, pursuant to what the brothers had sent. All right, I had screenshotted it from of the group chat, and I'm going to go to it and read it, and we all going to see how serious this thing is. All right. This is what Brother Howard had sent forth, all right, in the chat. It says, from tomorrow onwards, there are new communication regulations. All right, new communication regulations. All calls are recorded, which we believe they've been doing long time. All right, recording your calls, all right, and what have you, so forth. It says all phone call recordings saved. WhatsApp is monitored, which we believe they've been doing that here in Trinidad I'm speaking about. Twitter is monitored. Facebook is monitored. All social media and forums are monitored. All right, so that also going to include podcasts and what have you, so forth. All right. Now, they might not even monitor all, in the sense when I say monitor, or they might not monitor all right, because there's podcasts that is just on nothing instrumental, within information that is going to enlighten the people and put the people in a heightened state, as into what is taking place. So when I say that, I'm speaking like podcasts, with these music entertainers and what have you, so forth. Podcasts that's all nonsense, That's one folly. They ain't going to monitor that because that is no threat to them. All right? But podcasts, that is, enlightening the people and speaking of the ills that is going on in society, within the country, and speaking out against the government and what have you, so forth. And yeah, these things, yeah, for sure, these things are going to be monitored along with, as I say, edification, like what I'm doing here now, and brothers, likewise, and what have you, so forth. Yes, these things is going to be monitored. All right. It says, inform those who do not know your devices are connected to ministry systems. Take care not to send unnecessary messages. Inform your children, relatives, and friends about this to take care. Don't forward any posts or videos, etc. All right? And share videos and all these things. But at the same time, hey, we through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, we're going to continue to share our things amongst ourselves, not really for the main public, but amongst ourselves to keep us always in the loop, always in the know, always in the spirit. All right? Because at the end of the day, we don't care about the others who is outside of this shoe. To hell with them that is outside of this shoe. All right? We care about ourselves, as in each other. All right? So we will, continue to strengthen one another and what have you, so forth, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says, don't forward any posts or videos, etc. you receive regarding politics, present situation about the government, prime minister, etc. There is more. It says, police have put out a notification termed cybercrime, all right, which is going to be a part of the Sedition Act. An action will be taken. Just don't delete. Inform your friends and others too. Writing or forwarding any message on any political and religious debate is an offense now. Arrest without warrant. All right? And as you heard the guy spoke, now they're going to, they could search your phone and also seize your devices, the electronical devices, pursuant to the content that it contains and what have you, so forth. All right? And deem it an offense, against the state and what have you, so forth. Again, their main target is going to be us. That's what it is. Their main target, it is going to be us. It says, this is very serious. Please let it be known to all our groups and individual members as group admin could be in deep trouble. Take care not to send unnecessary messages. All right. Now, as you're reading, you could see this is, individuals that is in the world and what have you, so forth. So, the cautioning, whoever it is, they may be cautioning, and it end up being forwarded, Or it could be the government itself that send it out as scare tactics, a bot, a government bot, you never know, I'm just saying. But at the same time, this is the reality. that it is coming to. All right. It says, take care not to send unnecessary messages. Inform everyone about this. Take care. Please share it. It is very much true. All right. It is very much true. Groups, please be careful. All right. So there is what it is here. There is what it is here. All right. There is what it is here. Because you see, as the scripture say, let me see if I can get that. I know it's in Hebrews. I can't remember if it's Hebrews 12, you know, for the word of. All right, let me see. Hebrews 4 and 12. 4 and 12. I know it was at 12 something, but all right, it's 4 and 12, not 12 and something. All right, so let's go to that. This is the reasons why. All right, so Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12, where it reads, "For the word of the Most High Yahweh Baal Shem Yahshua is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of souls and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart." All right. So this word that we are preaching and teaching, which is, detrimental to their system, the downfall of their system, and what have you, so forth, this word that we are pushing out through the power and spirit of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahshua is a great offense to them. And it is doing much damage to their spirit. All right, because the word is actually holding them guilty as charged. All right, this word is holding them guilty as charged. All right, so what they are doing, basically, within the sense that they think that they're going to escape their judgment, by persecuting us and what have you, so forth. This is what they are doing. They think that they, with all these measures that they're bringing about and what have you, so forth, is going to, help them escape from their judgment, especially with the persecution that they're going to bring forth on us. All right? Because the scripture say, pursuant to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, where it reads, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." Because this is what this thing is leading to. All right? Because, as I said some years back, and I will continue to say it again, basically what we are doing is actually treasonous to the state, in the sense of we are against the state. All right, basically. All right, we are against the state. No, we are not, as the scripture says, I will come back to that. That is, let me see how to type that. I will come back to the scripture here to prove something, because again, I have to be careful of what I'm saying, because they will want to twist my words. The scripture even talk about that. All right. All right, the weapons of our warfare, 10 and 4, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. I will come back to this revelation here. All right, 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 4, where it reads, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, all right, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of the strongholds." All right, so we in this work here, we in this ministry here, which to them is a treasonous ministry. All right, basically it is, in the sense that we are against the state and its policies. We are against the government and its policies and the draconian measures and whatnot, so forth. But we are not going to go out as extremists to say, well, we are going to grab up arms and what have you, so forth, and perform terroristic acts against the state and what have you, so forth. No, that's not our prerogative. That will not be our prerogative. The men of Great Milson I will speak for. That will not be our prerogative. Our prerogative is to continue to push this word, speak this truth, and that alone is our power. All right, and that alone is our power, and it's so powerful that they will have no choice but to come up against us. All right, physically. All right, physically. Okay, to persecute us for just plainly speaking, blatantly speaking the truth. But as the scripture says, the truth liveth forevermore and conquer it. Roughly paraphrasing. You understand? So it says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh. Alright? All that exalted itself. Alright? Esau and his beast system and all the rest of heathens that is following in suit along with Esau. Like for instance, Kamala. Alright? Perfect example. Alright? And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Alright? So there's the situation here. Alright? There's the situation here. This is what we are entering into. That's why when I go back to the Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, where it reads, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. And that is speaking of the so-called white man, Esau. Alright? It ain't speaking about no man under the earth with a red suit and a pitchfork and two horns on the head and all that nonsense. No. Alright? It's speaking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Alright? That ye may be tried. Alright? Hey, and this is going to be our trial. Alright? This is going to be our trial in this time to come. This is the generation to see the end. This is the generation to see the end. Alright? That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which means a period of time, and not literal 10 days, but a period of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You understand? Because this is what is going to take place. Some of us is going to be put to death. Some of us is going to be martyred. Pursuant to Revelation 20 and 4. Revelation 20 and 4, where it reads, and I saw the throne, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. I saw, Salakia, the souls of them that were beheaded. Alright, that were beheaded, put to death, for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Alright? So this is what is going to take place with us here, even in Trinidad. Alright? Even in Trinidad, some of us is going to be put to death, for not succumbing to the beast. Because the beast system is going to come all the way here in Trinidad too. You feel what? No, it's going to come all here in Trinidad. Alright? And some of us is going to be persecuted. Some of us is going to be put to death. Alright? Some of us is going to be tried. And that trial could even lead to death. Alright? Because the scripture says in 2 Esdras 16. Is it? 16? 2 Esdras 16 and 62, is it? Or 60? 68? Is it 68?
68.
Yeah, Tawarak. Yeah, 68.
68?
Yeah, 68 self. Yeah, 68 self. 2 Esdras 16, 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you. Alright? So that's the believers. That's why I say, this thing that they're doing, they will just blanket it over everybody, but really and truly the main target is us Israelites who in this truth. All right, we are the main targets. All right, and they will take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. All right, the MOTB. All right, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision. That is those who succumb to the system, those who are part of the system and what have you, so forth. All those who work with the system, all right, they too is going to, because the scriptures say, your covenant will, death and hell will be disannulled. All right, and you're gonna be judged. All right, you're gonna be judged. All you in the police force and the army and what have you, so forth, you know, that will see no problem in helping forward in the affliction, you know. That is why I have a clip. I have a clip, and I think I will play that clip at the ending of this edification. And it now come to my head where a young lady, she was speaking of never trust a so-called black police officer. All right, because at the end of the day, they're all for the system. Don't feel because, you know, they join the police. They haven't joined the police force to try to help our people and what have you, so for. No, they join, all right, to get an easy way out. And if it is that they have to persecute their own people just to continue to have an easy way out, they will freaking do it. All right, there's where it is. But anyhow, nevertheless, verse 71, for there shall be, a matter of fact, verse 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right, upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. You understand? For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. All right, because all these is the trials. And they shall be tried as gold is tried in the fire. All these things are the trials that we're going to face. That is going to come up against us. All right, but as the scripture says, you know, be thou faithful unto death, and thou shalt receive a crown of life. This is what it is, because with them, I can't remember exactly what Psalms. I think like Psalms 37, but nevertheless, and I think I would have to end it off with that because I had to go to the plantation. How it goes again, boy? All right, Psalms 37. I know it was Psalm 37, but I cannot remember the exact verse. I think it's 14. Yep. Psalms 37 and 14, where it reads, and this will be the last scripture. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. All right? So, you know, us Hebrew Israelites, especially the men of Great Millstone, who pushes that full 100% truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, we are going to be the main targets. Because why? Of our upright conversation. So, Akiam, Akwat, all right, get ready for the Sedition Act, because it's coming. So I hope you all are edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Ba'asham Raka Kodash. Alright. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone at well. Shalom. Alright, salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth. risking their lives on the freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites, and shalom unto the very few, but faithful Akwat, your brother Kahan signing out, saying shalom, shalom, shalom.
Black police officers, I think they're going to change the system within, right? They're going to go and join, and they're going to be the change. End up just like that black police officer who was complicit in that black man being beaten in Jacksonville. And just like every other black man, black woman being beaten or brutalized by police, they did not do anything because they cannot do anything. What we don't talk about as a collective is how much we underestimate the systems that were used and put in place to oppress us. We always say, oh, you know, the very first police officers were slave catchers, and that is true, and it is important we're talking about this. But what we don't talk about is what it actually does to us as a community, because we're not slaves no more, right? It literally is being used to kill the black community. How many black bloodlines and lineages do you think was cut off because a black man or woman was locked up for some bull? Sorry. And that's just one way that the police and the entire penal system is used against the black community to ensure that we cannot procreate and produce unless it's for them. Because what they do to the black people who are in prison is use them for labor, right? While simultaneously allowing anything to happen to them in there. These white police officers, these white COs, these are all part of the system. They allow anything to happen to our black brothers and sisters who are arrested and locked up right now. And you think your little bitty self is going to go into this system and change something? It's bigger than you. There's no amount of black police officers that could change what we have today that we know to be the police force. It is a gang. It is a militia. And its goal is to kill black people. Now, of course, they affect other communities, but its goal since the beginning has been to kill black people. And what's not talked about enough is a lot of black police officers came from a mindset where they felt rejected from their community or rejected from whatever. They just felt rejected. So they felt the need to go be a police officer because you wanted to have some brotherhood, some sisterhood. But now you're in a position where you're watching your fellow black brothers and sisters be beaten and lynched, and you can't do nothing about it. You cannot change these systems. You have to burn them down. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a situation like these black police officers who just so happen to be there, and when the statements come, you cannot change these systems. You have to burn them down. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a situation like these black police officers who just so happen to be there, and when the statements come out, it couldn't be. You cannot change these systems. You have to burn them down. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a situation like these black police officers who just so happen to be there, and when the statements come out, it couldn't be about race because there was a black police officer there. Is that what you want to be? Is that the change that you want to see? Don't trust these black police officers. Don't find peace when you see them. Don't find solace when you see them. They are not like us. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar was not just about fucking white people and black people or Mexicans, but no, there are so many different sub-communities, so many different sub parts of the community that are not like us. And I mean